Up next, we have a 2000 graduate of Bentley University who is about to begin his 14th season at the helm of our NCAA Division I ice hockey team. He's been instrumental in the growth of our program as it aims for an Atlantic Hockey Championship and a berth in the NCAA tournament. Sorry, Ryan. A captain for 2 years and the program's all-time leader in goals and points, please welcome head coach Ryan Soderquist.
Thank you, Jake. Certainly, I know it's getting late, and I'm going to try to speed things up a little bit here. So, first of all, congratulations to the class of 2015 Hall of Fame at Bentley University. It's great to stand up here tonight and see some old faces. Mark right here in the front row, and a guy that I went to school with. Certainly, time's gone by pretty fast. But I get a chance tonight to come up and introduce Steve Tobio to the Hall of Fame. I had the pleasure of playing with Steven for 2 years and the chance to coach him for 2 years. As a player, he was a great teammate, but it was then when I became a coach, I got to realize how special Steven was as a player. I've now been part of this program for almost 20 years, and Steven ranks as high or higher than any other defenseman who has played in this program. Often our current team will ask about the old days, and I guess that's gone pretty quick because I still feel like I'm pretty young. But they talk about the old days and how players would match up. And Steven is hands down the first player that I mentioned to them, that not only that he would be a great player on our team, but he'd still be one of the best players in the league that we play in. I reached out to your former classmate and good friend, Mike Zabak, who couldn't be here tonight, and I know you get a chuckle out of that. He gave me a couple quotes, and obviously we'll take the clean ones. But he mentioned to me quickly that Steve was hands down the best player and most skilled defenseman that he ever played with. It was the typical response that you were going to get when you're talking about a Hall of Famer. And then he went on to discuss how it was a tough time period as we had just changed from Division II into Division I. And we didn't win a lot of games. And it was hard to come to the rink a lot of days. And he said, Steven made it fun every day. He always kept the locker room light, and he was the best captain that I had for 2 years. He was hands down the biggest reason why I enjoyed my 4 years at Bentley. I thought that was pretty special of you, Steve, and your character. And certainly is a true example of why I think Steven is well deserving of being inducted to the Bentley Hall of Fame. I introduce to you Steve Tobio.
Thanks, Ryan, for that intro. It's great to be here. This is a real honor, and congratulations to my fellow inductees and condolences to the Hoffman family. If you guys are following along in the program guide, turn to page 2. You'll see my 7th grade class photo. I guess my career here started really in high school during the recruiting process. With hockey, it's a tricky thing. You're either Division III or you're Division I, and there's not a lot in between. I was a bubble guy, so I got approached. I was fortunate enough to be approached by schools like BU. Their thoughts were, go play a year at juniors. We'll reevaluate you then. BC said, go to prep school. We'll see what happens after that. Harvard came to me and said, you're not smart enough to get in here. But Coach McAdam, who was the coach at the time, he came to 6 or 7 of my games where these other guys were coming to a period or two, and he would be there for the puck drop, and he would stay after the game to talk to me, and it was that level of commitment that made me choose Bentley. Now, when I came here, I was one of 14 recruits for the freshman class that was entering the Division I program, and unfortunately, there were only 5 of us that graduated. I don't think a lot of us understood the level of commitment that it would take to be Division I college athletes. It was ugly at times, like Ryan mentioned. Those first few years were tough, but kudos to Bentley, the athletic department, Coach DeFelice, for sticking with us because, they said we're going to make an investment in Bentley and Bentley hockey, and they did that. And year after year after year, our recruiting class has gotten stronger and stronger and stronger. And Coach Soderquist, like he said, we played together for 2 years. He coached me for 2 years. If you look at what he's done, he's put Bentley on the map for a legitimate hockey school. I remember my freshman year, we went down to RIT for a weekend. We lost 15-3 over 2 games. RIT is now in our division, and we finish above them in the standings. So that's huge, and I appreciate that and the level that you've taken this program. When I first graduated, people would ask me, where do you play college hockey? And it was tough for me to look them in the eyes and say Bentley, because they would say, oh, what division are you guys in? Division 3, who are you? But now, where we are today, I hold my head up high and I say I played at Bentley. So thank you, Ryan. Appreciate that. I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't be standing up here today if it wasn't for my support team down there. I've been blessed to have my entire family be at every single one of my games, home and away. My aunt, my uncle, my brother, my parents, my grandmother literally went to every single game. To look up in the stands and to see those guys genuinely proud and excited to watch you play hockey just made my job easier to go out on the ice. I'll never forget my mom ringing her crazy cowbell for every goal we scored. My brother leaning over the glass, heckling the other team to try to give us the edge. It's stuff like that I played for, and those are the memories that'll live on forever. But I would say probably the biggest influence on my hockey career is my dad, who, he made countless sacrifices for me to live my hockey dream. He never let me settle for being an average player, always pushed me to that next level. And I think it's fair to say that if he took his foot off the gas pedal at any point, I wouldn't be up here right now. So, Pops, thanks for that. And I just want to thank everybody within the university for making this happen. This is a huge night. Congratulations to all. Thank you.